Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and follow a single piece of code on its really intense journey, from just an idea in a developer's head all the way to the app running on your phone.
I mean, think about it. We get this constant stream of innovation, right? But behind that seamless experience, there's this massive hidden process. And, it's not magic. It's a super carefully designed gauntlet that every single new feature has to survive.
In this process, this whole series of intense checkpoints, well, that is exactly what separates a clever idea from a product that you can actually trust and rely on day in and day out.
Okay, first up on our journey, before any new code can go live to the public, it has to go through a full-scale dress rehearsal. And this happens in a special protected space called a staging environment.
The best way to think about it is like a movie set that perfectly mimics a real location. It's designed to mirror the live, real-world system as closely as possible. Why? So engineers can find and squash any problems before you ever have a chance to see them.
And just take a look at this. This diagram really shows you the sheer complexity we're talking about here. A staging environment doesn't just copy one server, no way. It has to replicate this entire ecosystem, all the databases, all the services, all the connections, to make the test as real as it gets.
And this table here, it just lays it out perfectly. Development is where the code is first built by the engineers. Then it moves to staging, where a much wider team tests it with realistic but totally safe data. And production, well, that's the live show. That's the one we all get to see.
So the code is in its rehearsal space. Now, how is it actually tested? Well, one of the most important methods is to approach it like a total outsider.
This is what we call black box testing, because the software is treated like a sealed box. The tester has no idea what's going on inside. They only care about one thing. If I do this, does the right thing happen? It's the ultimate user experience test. And it's also exactly how a hacker would start to probe the system for any weaknesses.
So, if white box testing is like an architect checking the building's blueprints to make sure the wiring is right, then black box testing is kind of like a home inspector who comes in and just starts flipping switches. They're checking if the lights turn on and if the doors are secure, all without ever looking at the plans.
Now, to find those weaknesses, testers use some really powerful tools. They'll literally bombard the system with random junk data. That's a technique called fuzzing, just to see if they can make it crash. Then they basically put on their black hats and simulate a full-on cyber attack in what's called a penetration test. The goal here is simple: find the security holes before the bad guys do.
But it's not enough for software to just work. It also has to perform well under pressure. It needs to be fast, it needs to be stable, and of course, secure. And that brings us to our next checkpoint, the non-functional requirements.
Think of these as all the critical, behind-the-scenes qualities that totally define your experience. Is the app lightning fast? Is it always available when you need it? Is your data kept safe? These are the promises a system makes about its quality.
And we are not talking about just a handful of checks here. To give you a real sense of the scale, this is an actual checklist from HCL's Big Fix software. It has over 70 specific items, 47 for performance and 23 for security, that every single release has to pass. It's intense.
So here's an example. One check makes sure storage latency, which is basically the time it takes to grab your data, is under 1 millisecond. That is literally faster than the blink of an eye, and it's the key to preventing that annoying lag when you're waiting for something to load.
And here's another one. This check measures CPU privileged time, making sure the system's brain, the CPU, isn't getting bogged down by its own internal chores. It has to stay below 10%, which leaves plenty of power for the tasks you actually want to do.
Okay, so we're approaching the finish line. But before our feature can cross it, there's one last crucial step. We need definitive proof that every single goal we started with has been met and successfully tested.
And to get that proof, teams use something called a requirement traceability matrix. You can just think of it as the final sign-off. It's like a master spreadsheet that links every single promise made about the feature directly to the successful test case that proves it works.
This simple but really powerful process creates a clear, auditable trail. It connects the initial idea to a specific test, and it proves with hard data that every requirement has been met. There's nowhere to hide, no guesswork allowed.
So, after surviving this entire gauntlet of checks, balances, and stress tests, our new feature is finally ready for the real world. So, that's the journey in a nutshell. It ensures that by the time an update actually reaches you, it's been thoroughly vetted
It's been rehearsed in a staging environment, it's been attacked with black box testing, measured against a strict performance checklist, and finally proven with a traceability matrix. It's a process designed from the ground up for reliability.
And ultimately, this whole process isn't about slowing things down. Just like the slide says, it's about building a critical safety net. It's what allows companies to balance that need for speed with the need for quality, to deliver the constant innovation we all crave, but in a way that truly earns our trust.
It's really the fundamental question every single software team grapples with. How do you move fast without breaking things? And this intensive, structured, and deliberate journey that we've just followed, well, that is how they find the answer.